Hello and welcome to GatherVerse News Unscripted, your home for humanity-based tech journalism. I'm your host, Priya Clemens. It is a pleasure to see you again. If you know a little bit about me, I've worked in video for a very long time, but it has been 2D, right? Just what you see on the screen in front of you, what you're seeing right now. But in recent years, there has been an explosion of content that is 3D. We are going to speak today with someone who is very well versed in making this sort of content to understand what's going on in the business right now, how you can potentially get involved, whether you're using that video or creating it yourself. Dan Krolchek, he is the VP and GM of Partnerships for Creator Up. Dan, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you. Thank you so much for having me. Great to be here.
So Creator Up is a platform and an agency that helps create immersive video content. Tell me a little bit about your company.
That's right. There's 8,000 creators behind a platform that does everything from AI videos to 360 VR learning experiences. We power that by a platform that's hopefully as easy to use as Amazon for you to punch in any kind of project you're looking to do in content, and then powered by a network of global creators that help. We really build a team around what you need to get done to make great content that is affordable, scalable, and repeatable.
So I think I need a little bit more explanation there. You go to like creatorup.com and you come in with maybe an idea of a project you want to create, and then there are various people you can connect with who help you make that.
That's right. So you could come in, you can search by types of video or types of project that you're looking to get done, or even industry verticals. So if you're in education and you need courses, or if you're in marketing and you might need videos for LinkedIn or Instagram or TikTok, you can start to search for different video types and creative. Or if this is your first 360 VR lesson, you can type in 360 VR, and then what you'll see in the platform are different examples and different most common project types. So it's kind of an estimator tool for any kind of production. And then once you kind of narrow down and you see what you want, you can technically check out and move right into your project, or you can chat for immediate help and talk to a producer. And that's where the magic really starts happening, is they're going to say, oh, great, let's break this down a little bit more. Let's put together your bespoke project and talk about the kind of animators, 360 videographers, editors, different languages that you need. And then full transparency and pricing and people. So you can see exactly, what does it take to do everything from a 30-second AI powered video to a 30-minute documentary.
Well, I would love to see some of this content. While you and I are incredibly good looking and charismatic as it is, why don't we show people a little bit about what you've done? So the first thing I want to show is a clip that you took, that you created from Fleet Week here in San Francisco, where you sent a meteorologist up in a plane and you shot it from all these angles. So let's listen to that for a moment. It's a 6-minute clip. We're going to show just a little bit of it.
Greg, how's it going?
Good. How are you, Jessica?
Good, good.
Yeah. Are you ready for San Francisco Fleet Week Air Show presented by United Airlines?
Absolutely, I am. This is literally my dream. I'm so stoked to be out here with you today.
Yeah, let's go fly. So I hear you're a pilot as well?
I am. I fly UH-60s out of Mesa, actually, for the National Guard here in California.
Incredible.
And I heard your wife's a pilot as well, right?
Yes, she is. She's a captain on the 747, probably one of 10 in the world.
It's not a lot of women in aviation.
So Dan, what we're seeing there is kind of distorted. Can you explain to our audience why we're seeing what we're seeing right here?
Yeah, so what we're looking at is really 360 VR in a 2D screen. So imagine, taking your full 360 view and compressing it into a small screen, and we're showing this so people can see what they would see in headset, or if they watch it, on their iPhone or on their desktop, where they can mouse things around. So this is what we sometimes do in 360 preview mode. So you can get an idea of everything you see inside the sphere of the headset or smartphone or desktop.
Right. And it is, tell me a little bit about what it takes to create this sort of content. How many cameras
Yeah.
do you have out there?
Yeah, so this one, and maybe we can put the links in there so folks can watch later and kind of get a sense of what you just saw right there. But you saw the approach of walking up to the plane where CJ, our producer, who worked very closely with the KPIX team and CBS Bay Area News, did a great job of. They wanted us to bring everything possible to tell a great, affordable story within scope, and not bringing a crew of 25 people or anything. This was literally two people on our crew and a couple people from KPIX, including Jessica Birch, who's the meteorologist, who's also an aviator, an Apache helicopter pilot with the U.S. National Guard. So, number one, start with, is there a great story to be told? Like, why is this good in 360 VR? And of course, going up in a T-33, historic Air Force jet with Greg, who's the pilot, Ace Maker air shows. You got a lot of great things happening there from a visual perspective. And how we did it is we talked about, what's the story first and foremost that we want to tell, and should it be told in 360 video? Like, is there a lot of great things to look around and see? And we realized, like, everyone has done or maybe even seen a 360 VR flight. Like Blue Angels have done a lot of this, where you're in the cockpit. So we wanted that in the cockpit feel. But we also wanted, like you see here, is we mounted to the belly of an airplane. And what was very convenient is Greg actually had clips already set that he had done with little GoPros for different pieces. We modified those to put 360 cameras in these different places. So as the story is progressing, you're seeing actual shots kind of continue to be edited from different angles. So some of the things Jessica is talking about later when they go into their role, you get the perspective from the outside of the airplane, the inside of the airplane. You can see Greg, you can see Jessica. And there's definitely a lot. We want to keep people entertained, informed, and educated as they watch one of these. So this one, there's 5 total cameras. And then including even some additional content that we shot kind of pre-flight and then post-flight, that at the end of the day, we used a small amount of it to tell the great story about Jessica and women in aviation and Fleet Week all together.
Let's take a look at another one. You did another one here
Yeah.
in San Francisco, which is the high stakes world of the bar pilots. These are the boats that help guide the very large container cargo ships in and out of the bay, the narrow mouth of the bay underneath the Golden Gate Bridge. So let's take a look at that as we chat a little bit further here. How difficult is it to get into these places, to access the points that you need to be able to put a camera up, to make sure that you're only capturing what you want? Because usually we're used to a videographer who can stay outside of the camera's eye. That can't happen when it's 360 video.
Exactly. Yeah, if you look closely at a lot of 360 projects, you might see, an extension wand, a boom, or a DP team somewhere over in the corner. We do our best to try to think about exactly that. I mean, you're right, Priya. Like, a lot of the times, people are just focusing on that rectangle typically, but in this shot, you don't see our team. You don't see a tripod anywhere. So you have to think about that, and you have to. A lot of times, it's the host that you're going to. They have to realize all of that has to go. Your team can't stand around and watch unless they want to be in the shot. And there's some things in here that are very difficult. This is Hugh Ho. He's a YouTuber. He's our co-founder. He climbed up the side of the ship, as did Itai, with a 360 camera, protruding out his backpack to get the view of what it felt like to do what is the dangerous worlds of these bar pilots that a lot of people don't realize. They go out, into the bay or into the ocean, and they actually board the moving ship, and that captain takes over the other ship and helps navigate it through the giant sandbars that are outside the Golden Gate Bridge to help protect the environment.
While people are looking at this, they may look at this and say, whoa, it's kind of hard to understand what's going on. I want to reiterate that when you're actually watching this video, whether it's on a screen and you can just move it and see various places around the world, or you have a head-mounted display on, a set of goggles, you are just seeing the space kind of in front of you. You're not seeing the entirety of this 360 panorama. We're just showing it now so that people can understand the fullness of what is being captured. But it does make me think about the fact that often people have had these issues with nausea inside headsets. How do you feel like that is progressing, Dan? Is that getting better? Does it feel like people are able to engage with these stories without having kind of a physical negative reaction?
Yeah, we take that into consideration for all the stories. The Jessica piece has got a lot of movement in there. We've had some people, try it on and say there's a lot happening there, and it's a risk that you take, right? It's kind of like the roller coaster ride. You have to say, now this is a roller coaster ride. There will be movement, but we're typically trying to minimize movement, unless and in this case, this is the story to tell of these guys are feeling the risk. So. Now there's some things that have helped with that that you can take into consideration in filming. One is the height, right? The eyesight level. So if immediately you're filming from way up here on a boom, you're taking the person out of their normal comfort zone. Unless you're over 6'4", you don't need to have the microphone and the camera all the way up there. You want to keep this guy at about typically around 5 feet. Or less, depending on what you're doing. So also the quality of the resolution going from the past of what it's been, and the quality of the resolution, both in the cameras and the headsets, immediately makes people feel a little bit more realistic, because if it's out of focus, your brain is already saying what's going on here. This is not normal. And when it's in focus, and also, like you mentioned, is we help people with a focus topic. So in this case, when Itai is talking about whether it's the bar pilots or the redwood forest, we're focusing on that element and letting the person make the conscious choice to wander. So this is a common mistake in editing, is moving it all over the place, right? Let the user decide where they want to look around. And we've watched people put the headsets on and pretty much just watch what's in about 150 degrees film view, although everything else is there. And then they might, on the next watch, go and look for more things, Easter eggs, more to the story of what they missed, just to explore more. So if you film it right, the user will keep things under control, and the nausea is getting minimized.
And it does really transport you to amazing places, right? You have another one called Hope on the Slopes. And this is in the Tahoe region, right? And again, heartfelt story, also beautiful location and vistas.
Yeah, great story about this autistic skier, Connor, who is amazing once he puts on a pair of skis. This was a great story. KPIX helped us discover, and Itai helped narrate. But you say take you to amazing places, and a lot of our segments will start with reframing where you are. So as the story is starting out, you're in the mountains here of Tahoe. You're joining Connor on the ski lift. We're setting up the story, and we do that for things as basic as a corporate training video. There's that moment once you put a headset on where you have to leave your home desk, your corporate work environment, your classroom, and portal to a new place. That's part of those first few seconds of putting on that headset. You want the user to forget where they are and be welcome to this new environment. So a lot of times our opening shots will have a great drone shot or an exterior moment, and it'll say, welcome to, Kauai Coffee farm here out in literally the island of Kauai was another one we did. That helps people make that leap. And there's something we do at events and schools is when somebody takes the headset off, we say, welcome back, because they just went on a journey. And this is a great piece as well. Like you asked how difficult. We're doing some tricky things with professional 360 videographers and mounts and cameras that are waterproof and snowproof. That are things you want to think about, and whether you go out and get one of these and get started with an Insta360,
which is just a few $100s and about the size of a phone. Really not big.
Yeah, it's great. If you've got one of these, congratulations, you're already a 180 VR filmmaker. Because I just looked this morning and I had just shy of 100 panoramic photos that I've taken in different, vacations and cool places. But, everyone just found out last week from Apple that, you've already been creating VR content, whether or not you knew it. And I think, that's going to be one of those neat moments when people start to explore and put on their headsets and realize, wow, I've been a VR filmmaker this whole time. I just didn't know it.
Dan, how long ago was Creator Up founded?
Just over 10 years. Yeah.
Okay.
We started it as a company that was similar to Masterclass for filmmakers, and we've progressed into a platform that makes video easy.
But you've been in the game for at least a decade with this company, and you've been filmmaking for longer than that. Tell me about the state of the industry when it comes to creation of immersive content like this. Where are we in what you think is the trajectory? How much adoption is there right now, and where do you see it going?
And just in VR and video in general?
Yeah, VR filmmaking, VR video content, are we, I'm kind of assuming we're at like the dawn of where we're going to see things go. But I don't really know, like, how many people are actually putting on headsets and looking at this content? How many people are looking at on flat screens?
Yeah, I think we're at the second, hockey stick, curve up. YouTube was really around the first. Everybody started making video for everything. And now we're at the second phase with a combination of, XR, Metaverse Stage 2, new headsets, AI, TikTok generation. There's kind of, it's a hockey stick wall of a whole bunch of things taking off, I would say. And I'm reminded of a quote that goes way back from the early days of Google and YouTube, of there being a lot of junk out there. I think there was a different word in terms of content. So between AI content, some good, some not so good, VR content, metaverse world of creators, YouTube creators, TikTok creators that are just doing so many amazing things that we learn from. We work with TikTok, we work with Pico. We work with all of the social platforms because people are inventing very new, cool ways to film, to edit, to animate, to do things in AI. That doesn't necessarily mean it's better, right? You look at things that are better. You look at the Mandalorian, and they're using AI. They're using volume walls. They're using new ways to project on screens that if you just watch some of that, behind the scenes content, it's amazing. And there's stuff that moves up. There's things that trickle down, and this is new content, right? So podcasting, video content, video vlogging, and everyone creating new space and helping to put it out there. So obviously I'm excited about how much there is out there, and it is a great time to learn any of the different aspects of it. But pay close attention. I'd say be a fast follower. Try new things. That's what's nice is you can fail on a TikTok video for business and shut it down if it's not doing anything. You could try something new in LinkedIn and see it completely take off. You could launch something amazing like this and build a great audience that's going to share and come back to these. So we just try to be there and be multimedia. Help people figure out what they want to do and what's the best way to film it, and take into considerations audience, the devices that are coming. Very exciting time with Apple. I think what they just announced, and having things like Disney jump in and make their announcement and their commitment to the category. There's validated rumor that Disney's already been filming in 360 VR at a number of their productions that are hitting Disney Plus now, that the cameras were already there filming some of the content. So I think by next quarter, even into the Christmas season, you're going to see a lot more of this. Meta new headset, they were like, we're already doing a lot of this already. So I think there's going to be a merger of all of these medias together. So it's another screen. It's another way to tell stories and to engage.
Yeah, and a very one that feels very connected and very emotional and very close. I just want to give a quick plug, honestly, because Dan and I have met at a conference some time back, chatted a little bit here and there, don't know each other well yet, But Dan is honestly one of the most approachable, friendly, nice, knowledgeable people you will meet out there in the industry. So for any of you who are thinking about creating new content in this new world of emerging technologies, I'd really encourage you to reach out to Dan. Very receptive, great
Wow.
guy to
Thank you
talk
so
to,
much.
great guy to have in your back pocket. So
Thank you
Dan,
so
thank you
much.
for coming on the
Anytime.
show. Thanks for being part of GatherVerse News Unscripted today.
Absolute pleasure. Keep up the great work. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Thanks, Dan. All right. And come on back tomorrow for another episode of GatherVerse News Unscripted. Raphael Timmons will be on the show then. Thanks so much for watching. See you later. Thanks again.